Guys, welcome to the chapter 1, Breaking Barriers, and lesson number 3. My friends who work in multinationals have perhaps grown bigger faster than me. Possible. Possible, guys, 110% possible. Why? Because the day you perhaps joined your family business, you were called the director of the family business, or perhaps you were the partner in your family business. Possible. Or you became the proprietor also. Nothing wrong in it. And so, you were given certain tasks to do, or perhaps you were given some offices to sit. But maybe a friend of yours who joined a multinational had a good pay package on day 1. In next 5 years, they perhaps rose from the rank of a manager or assistant manager to a general manager and perhaps a vice president or something like that. People have different ranks and growth. Seeing them, we sometimes feel, oh my goodness, I mean, look at that, guys. He was with me in the engineering and look where he has reached and where am I? Possible. Guys, a very important lesson. It takes time to cook. You can't get things just like that. In case you were boiling noodles, it's going to take time. In case you're boiling rice, it takes time. In case you're cooking something, it takes time. There's a difference between approach of both the things. In one, you are the owner. In another, you are working for somebody. In one, when you are the owner, you will take time to flourish, establish and flourish, to rise up. In another case, you're working for somebody. You may perhaps, may or may not be there, stakes involved. Here, your stakes are involved. You take a wrong decision, you get the backlash. You take the right decision, you are successful. Here, you may or may not be having the impact of a wrong decision. Understand the whole thing, guys. Here you own up. Say, for example, something is happening and your worker is driving a truck. Your driver is driving the truck and that's your own truck. You're sleeping at night peacefully and your truck is being driven on a highway somewhere and they meet with an accident. The call by the police or somebody is not going to go first to the manager, it's going to go to the owner of the company, that's you. But you are going to have those sleepless nights, you're going to have those things. But at the same time, guys, in case your business expands, in case your strategies go right, in case your decisions go right, imagine what happens next. Earlier, you were having perhaps 1 or 2 trucks, now you are having 10, 15, 30 trucks. That's number 1. Number 2, your perhaps friend is many business who is working for a company that is manufacturing trucks. That is also possible. He is perhaps a manager manufacturing 10 trucks, 20 trucks, 30 trucks, 100 trucks a month or a week or whatever it is. But perhaps you are a buyer of those trucks. Think. Guys, whenever you are a part of a family business, your role changes, whereas as opposed to somebody else, the role is different. And so, the time it takes for an owner to grow from what they are to what they would become or what they would want to become is going to take time. I've seen across my students. Many of my students, when they start their careers, because they are all students of family business, the interesting thing happens. Number 1, the day they join, that day they decide to take, okay, I would like to go for a vacation to this place. But eventually in 2-3 years, nothing happens. Perhaps their friend who's working for some company happens to go to such visit or something like that. But 5 years later, when he is ready with the business or when she is ready with the business, tells Dad, this time I'm going for this exhibition to Argentina. Why don't I go to also Antarctica? Yeah, fine, perfect, no problem. And you decide to take your biggest trip of spending the highest perhaps money of going to Argentina and then going to Antarctica. And when you go there, that friend of yours perhaps is thinking, oh my goodness, I mean, you've been able to go and just pass a comment also. It's your business. You can decide whatever you want to. It's not that story, guys. Don't get swayed. Don't get beaten. Don't get emotionally hit when somebody makes a comment. Rather, it's very important to understand that in a family business, when the successor joins a family business, you are the owner, you will take some time. You will take some time to go to that level. Whereas somebody else who's working for somebody, he gets a salary from day 1. You know what, guys? Many of my students end up getting no salaries for a couple of months and years. Why? The father says whatever you want can be, expense can be met by the company. Then why do you want money? And you also start thinking, yeah, I mean, I want a car to go and I already have a car. I need a driver who will drive for long distances. I already have that, this, that, etc., etc. Everything's there. Why do you need to worry? Guys, understand one very important thing. This is purely a psychological and emotional barrier. It's less logical. You see somebody else and therefore you feel bad or good. Yes. You see somebody else, you compare yourself, therefore you feel that. If you stop comparing, rather you start comparing yourself with yourself. You start comparing yourself with yourself. I'm repeating third time. You start comparing yourself with yourself. That's going to be the difference. If I was doing X work and at getting a Y income at year 2022, if it's to year 2023, I should be doing X plus something, I should get income Y plus something. If that's my target, and I tell my dad, I tell my board, I tell my uncle, I tell my mom, I tell my aunt who are part of the family business, ladies, guys, I'm going to achieve this, and after I achieve this, you're going to reward me with a wonderful holiday. And then everyone will say, yo bro, not a problem. That's what exactly a family business owner would be doing. And learning from family business is that. Learning from family business is to understand that break your emotional and psychological barriers of benchmarking yourself with somebody else. With somebody else. The day I started to attempt to learn something, I never thought that that person who's doing is doing better. I always thought, am I becoming better than yesterday? And if I'm becoming better than yesterday, I am actually beating my own benchmark, and that day I'll rise somewhere next level. And that's the lesson, guys. Make sure you follow that please do not compare yourself with anybody else but yourself. And if you are going to use that emotion and that psychology as your own source of power, trust me, guys, your family business is going to give you a very, very interesting set of lessons. Have a great time, guys. God bless you. Thank you.